the Juvenile Justice Impact Gala, but are part of making a difference in our community and the youth and the underserved youth and the at-risk youth and their families. And they both have some incredible stories. And so here today we are with Dewey Cooper, the Black Cobra, and his beautiful daughter, Shaolin. And Shaolin she was singing at the gala, and she sang for a very special moment where we have chaplains carrying white candles to show the respect for the youth that pass away unnecessarily in the system. And so she sang at the gala, and Dewey was there speaking, and he's a World Champion Kickboxer, I should say, and also does a lot with at-risk youth and underserved youth. And so we're here to talk a little bit about them and their community efforts and their impact on our community.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Dr. Susan. My daughter Shaolin, she's here, so that's a pleasant surprise for us. Shaolin,
kind of walked into it.
I'll put you on the spot. Do you remember the first part of that song you sang?
Oh, yeah?
Let's hear it. Give me a few lines. No warm up.
Find me here, open heart and open hand. Speak to me, breathing life into my bones. As I seek your face, you are filling up the space. You are good.
Woo! That was very good. The reason why I called her out and had her do that is because we had never heard this song before until Dr. Susan presented that song to us, and she wanted someone to sing that song. And when I heard it, right away I said, my daughter could do that. So now you guys heard her sing a little bit of that song. It's a very special song to Dr. Susan. It was a very powerful song to sing at the Impact, the Justice Juvenile Impact gala that we had. And thank you for doing that, Shaolin.
You're welcome.
You know, I'm her father. Anytime I ask her to do something, she hates doing things for me. I don't know why. Where did I go wrong? But she did, and she did a good job. Today, she goes to Bishop Gorman High School. She's a junior in high school. And they had a big basketball, kind of like, scrimmages today. Several different high schools all hooked up at Legacy High School to play hoop today. And I texted her coach after, and I said, Coach Nixon, what do you think? How did Shaolin do in your honest opinion? Give me something. And he said, Coach Nixon, she played great, more aggressive, better defense. She played with a lot of confidence. She was great.
That's awesome.
That was just today. So I'm bragging about my daughter. I'm proud of you. Good job. Keep up the great work.
Sports definitely teaches you to have those qualities.
Yes. So, we're here. We're with Dr. Susan. What's going on, Doc? How are you?
I'm good. We're good. Everything's coming along great. You know, we had a great 2021, and we did some really incredible workshops to serve our community, and we're still closing up and wrapping up from the gala, since we're just a few weeks out. And we have some really incredible prevention programs that we want to put in place for 2022. We're going to keep in place some of the workshops that we had, like that focused on like mental health, suicidal ideation, depression, anxiety. We had some of the community leaders that came in from different mental health organizations to talk to the kids. We did one about healthy eating. We did sports. We brought a whole caravan of people up to the Valley of Fire to show the youth how to teach them about sustainability, and it was great, And so we have a lot of more programs that we want to put in. That was just a few of them, but we want to focus, like on anti-bullying, anti-drug,
mental health,
self-defense.
Yes.
You would be good at that, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was my plan. When I spoke at your gala, I wasn't just talking. Let me get hip terminology. It wasn't just cap. I meant what I said about, opening up our gym for the kids, doing some sort of programs for the kids. A lot of politicians that were there that night talked to me. They said, yeah, let's hook up. We want to do something. So that offer still's out there. We have the gym. I got the expertise. You have a self-defense workshop that you want to do. Absolutely. I'm in already. Let's do it.
Can you tell them the name of your gym and where it's located? And
Yes. Our gym is called Split T Boxing, BKMMA. It's at 4360 Blue Diamond Road. That's Las Vegas, Nevada, 89139. Blue Diamond and Orville are the two main cross intersections. But it's 4360 Blue Diamond Road. If you guys know that Mountains Edge area, there's a big Target store. It's in that plaza. We opened October 1st, and we're there now. We're open for business. We're doing a bunch of training there with all the professional fighters that we have, as well as civilian clients that just want to get in shape, learn some self-defense, and have a good time doing it. So, we're going Split T Boxing, BKMMA, 4360 Blue Diamond Road, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89139.
is there a phone number or a website? If
Yes.
someone wants to call and just inquire about a membership or how to become more involved? Or...
Yeah. Just go online and look up Split T Boxing, and it'll pop up. We're online. We have a website, or you can go to my personal Instagram page. I'm really active on Instagram, and that's DC Black Cobra. DC Black Cobra. Cobra, I spell it with a K, not with a C. And you'll see it there. All the information there.
And he comes with such an incredible story and background. Do you want to talk a little bit about your background and how you got to this point today and how you became involved in even helping you? Because a lot of people, they have different interests, and your story and how you got to become who you are and how you're giving back to the communities is it's a great story, and I think everyone should hear about it.
Yes, I grew up in Los Angeles, California, in the early 80s. People look at California, especially Los Angeles, like it's all surfs up and sunny, beautiful days. But back in the 80s in Los Angeles, it was a really violent place as far as the youth and gang violence and all of that. Everybody heard of the group NWA, and whether you like rap music or not, the stuff they talked about was really going on in a lot of areas throughout the inner cities of Los Angeles. Anyway, I was a product of that growing up, the gang violence thing. I'm the youngest of 8 in my family. I got 3 older brothers, 4 older sisters, and all my brothers were in the gang violence and stuff like that. They were all rolling 60s Crips. Therefore, I started getting into the wrong crowd, doing the wrong thing, and a lot of violence in our neighborhoods growing up. But what saved me was my love for martial arts. I started to practice. First of all, I got in a lot of fights when I was very young because I looked older than what I was, blah, blah, blah. Same old ghetto story that every other person from the hood tells you about. But I was getting into a lot of trouble, a lot of street fights and all of that sort of thing. So I wanted to learn martial arts, not to become a martial artist or a fighter or, a champion or anything. I did it to get a fight better in street situations. I originally started to train just so I could beat people up in the streets. That's the bottom line. But that urge of wanting to improve my actual fighting to defend myself turned into something that took me into a whole another journey, another path in my life. And I started training martial arts at the Gent Center, and I started doing Muay Thai. After about a year, I was 9 years old, by the way. after training for a year, I started doing amateur kickboxing, and next thing you know, I liked the way it felt, having people applaud you and back then it wasn't any phones to do pictures, but people would ask you to sign autographs and take Polaroid shots of you and stuff like that. And I loved the way that felt, people cheering you and applauding you when they hear your name being announced. And I kept fighting, and fighting took me all over the world. I won 4 world amateur titles. I traveled to Thailand. I traveled to France. I traveled to Japan. I traveled to England. I traveled all over the world through fighting. And I just kept doing it all the way up and became a professional, won 2 world titles, got the second American to be signed to the famous K-1 organization. At the time, K-1 was how the UFC is right now. It was the biggest fighting organization in the world. It was an international company that had the best fighters in the world signed to it. And I was signed to the K-1. And I just fought for many years and all of that. What I will say, martial arts definitely saved my life because it gave me structure, it gave me discipline, and it gave me an inner confidence that I didn't have before. When you grow up in these troubled areas, and this is what's happening with the youth now. When you grow up in environments that are very violent, you put on this character of toughness and I'm down, I'm ready to fight at any minute or whatever. But deep inside, there is a slight fear there. You're worried about getting hurt. You're worried about getting injured. You're worried about losing your damn life. So that's why they're so quick to attack and strike and be unruly, because it's a fear of survival. It's a mechanism that just kicks in your body. And luckily, I trained martial arts, and I got a real confidence about myself, where I didn't have to just outlash on people with the slightest word or someone bumping into me or someone stepping on my shoe. So martial arts really saved my life. If it weren't for martial arts, for sure, I would be dead or in prison for life, for sure, because it changed my whole way of everything, my whole tolerance, my whole understanding, gave me more discipline. It compartmentalized my aggression, and like I said, that's why I'm still a part of it today. In case you guys don't know, right now I'm the current coach. I'm the current coach of the UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou right now. When you guys got here, I was sleeping on the couch because I trained him all day today, and several other fighters. Martial arts has saved my life. It's given me a great life. I've been all over the world now. I'm known many different continents on the planet. Got paid by the Chinese government to train the top youth martial artists and their top pros. I've done things you guys won't believe. Fought the main event in Dubai. Just crazy things that I owe to martial arts. And if it weren't for that, who knows what the violence and the gang violence would have done to me. So I'm really grateful for having the wrong motivation of doing it, but it ended up turning into the right thing. The negative became a positive. I'm very thankful for that.
It's incredible how our lives, you think your life might be going one way, and then with some experiences, like you're just thinking, hey, I want to train so I can defend myself better, and you've given back to the world.
Yes.
I mean, what an incredible story, and can you tell us a little bit more about how you're helping the youth in the community?
Well, I started that when I was in college, after high school. Well, in high school, my junior and senior year, I was in the DARE program. I went to elementary schools and junior high talking to the kids way back then. Since then, I've always been involved in the police department's youth programs. I was part of Jesse Boris's youth program. I've been a part of the UFC initiative to help mental health at-risk youth. Every year I go out and we give to the homeless during the holiday seasons. Eugene and I get ready for the turkey run we're doing and all of that, and what is it? The turkey. We collect turkeys and we give them to like
the food drive.
Yeah. That's what it is. The food drive. That's Eugene's thing. But yeah, we're currently doing a food drive right now for Thanksgiving. We just did a food drive for Thanksgiving. Now we're getting ready for the Christmas. And by the way, I sound a little weird because I don't actually celebrate holidays. I don't celebrate none of that, but I don't put my own beliefs on other people, so I still do things for others. So we just finished the turkey drive. Now we're doing a toy drive is what we're doing with Eugene Weems right now. And we have several different locations for donations. Eugene's going to have that up on his website, his social media. I'll share it. A lot of community programs. New Era Las Vegas. Part of that initiative, helping those guys out. Just anything that encompasses youth, especially at-risk youth, I'm always willing and doing my best to be a part of. That's why we want to do something at our gym, bring some kids in, train them once or twice a week. We're going to teach them about nutrition. We're going to teach them about proper rest, teach them about self-defense, teach them about healthy mind state and positive thinking. And of course, we'll teach them some boxing and kickboxing as well. One thing we want to let everyone know, at our gym, we do these programs with the youth. It's just not about teaching them how to fight. There is a fighting component, but we talk to them about awareness. We talk to them about disengaging situations before they start. We talk to them about environment. We talk to them about the importance of the people they hang around, because whether you believe it or not, you are a part of the people you hang out with. So we try to give them inner peace and inner confidence to kind of disengage themselves with people that are too negative or people doing bad things, which sometimes is hard because of the environments they live in. But we talk to them about these things. We call it the self-awareness aspect of training. And, of course, we do meditation just to keep in martial arts. There is a fighting component, but that's like the third or fourth thing they learn when they come to our camps, especially if they're at risk, because one thing you don't want to do is take an at-risk kid or a very aggressive or violent kid and just teach them how to fight. We have to teach them to be respectful and responsible with the weapons in which we teach them to use. And they start to get that snowball effect like I got when I was a little kid, and learn that just because you can hurt someone doesn't mean you should. And by the way, I was blessed. Remember, I was so young when I started. Imagine if I hadn't started until I was 16 or 17. Who knows the type of person I would have been at that time. Remember what, in my neighborhood, there were 10, 11-year-olds doing drive-by shootings and selling crack cocaine, because the older guys would give it to the kids and have them hold it in case they got caught by the cops. Nothing would happen. You go to reform school, your parents would pick you up, blah, blah, blah. So it's a long story of how I grew up, but it was a very dangerous time. Back then, Bill Gates was the police chief in L.A., and boy, he was really, really tough on the youth and the sentencing and stuff like that. Anyway, it's a crazy story, but since we've been through all these crazy experiences and we came out on the other side of them, we structure all at-risk programs a certain way. We make them say, yes, sir. We make them shake hands. We make them look you in the face. They have to bow to their instructors. And not because we care if they bow. It's just a form of discipline, structure, respect. All these things are very important.
Well, Las Vegas is definitely lucky to have you, and so are the youth and their families, and it's incredible how much really, whether it's a food drive, a toy drive, all the training and the programs that you have. I believe that prevention is the biggest thing.
Yes.
Because a lot of these kids, once they do get in the system, it's almost as though there's no way out.
Yes.
And it's such a challenge for that. So when we have someone like yourself who is doing so much to teach discipline, respect, nutrition is so much bigger than children, even adults.
Yes.
Think about how it affects your whole body, your mind, your mindset, your attitude.
Yes.
And so what you're doing is pretty awesome, and we're proud to have you a part of Juvenile Justice Impact, and we look forward to coming up with some of the plans that we have for 2022, and I believe that the youth that we're going to be working with would be honored to be a part of your gym and the programs.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do it. And as a father now, I realize how important it is to, like you said, prevention and to create a positive way for the youth, create a mind state, make them feel good. My daughter sitting right next to us right now, since she was a little kid, we have a few different creeds, but what's one of the creeds I've always said since you were a kid, Shaolin?
If you train hard, you get the rewards.
Yes, if you train hard, you get the rewards. This was something I told her since she was like 2 years old, and I would set up things that she'd have to do and accomplish. And if she did, of course, she got the reward. And now, at first people said, you really shouldn't have to incentivize your daughter to be excellent. I said, but remember, everything is a mentality. Everything is a mind state. And more importantly, everything is habit forming. So yeah, I used to bribe her to make straight A's or to be happy in class and listen and not talk when the teacher's talking. But now she's a 4.0 student at Bishop Gorman taking honors classes. Hasn't made a B since she's been in high school. So all those things were a mechanism to create and reinforce good habits. And now you heard her. She didn't even want to do this podcast. It's Saturday. She wanted to do homework. And she wasn't just saying that to get away from doing the podcast. I have to make her watch TV with me and hang out with me. She's doing homework. But these were all things that we did to make her understand that there's an expectation in being alive. There's an expectation, there's a standard in which we must live, and we must always create, or how can I say, we should always make it to our standard minimum, if not exceed that. So if your standard is to make an A, you got to study every day. If you make an 88 and it's a B, you did not make it to your standard, so you failed. Whether it's a B, everyone else said, hey, a B is good. No, if the standard is an A, the B, you failed. Doesn't mean you are a failure, but we aim for that A. Everything we do is mentality based. Everything. And so when I get these kids, I'm on their asses about, saying sir, bowing, being on time, being courteous, being strong. You might be tired, but if I say 10 more push-ups, I need them. This gives us the mental durability that we need, the psychological push that we need, the psychological strength that we need. Trust me, I'm not just being a sergeant or a boot camp military guy to you. I did it to my own flesh and blood. You know what I mean? My daughter, who I love more than anything in this world. But no matter what, we have to be accountable and we have to be responsible for what we do and how we live. And that's why discipline is so important. And that's why I'm so into the youth and helping them out, doing the type of things I did for my daughter. And hopefully we can make the future a better place and people have more empathy and understanding for one another.
Well, you definitely are an incredible role model, not only to the youth, but your daughter. I mean, I know Bishop Gordon is such a highly respected school, and I have family that have their own kids going there, and they just come out of there a completely different person than they would at another type of school.
Yes.
And the discipline that they teach and the role model that you are, his children most often are a product of their environment, and she's a product of your incredible environment of inspiration and perseverance and just being a kind person.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Shao, what do you think is the problem with the youth today, the violence, the drugs, and all of that?
I just think it's environment and not having a role model. I was lucky enough to have like my dad and my mom too. She actually taught me how to be like kind and just appreciate things. My dad's more like my mentality wise, like with sports or like life in general. While my mom, like, she helps me. I usually get stressed a lot. Yeah, I stress out about everything like sports, school, grades, all that stuff. So my mom really helped me like reflect on my emotions and like meditate. You know what I mean? Like meditating is really good to like helping the mental health, because especially now like with COVID, like that impacted like my generation, like in kids, like younger kids, like a lot. It was scary at first because we didn't know what was going to happen. So like when we had to quarantine and stay like inside, we couldn't really interact with other people. And then we had online school, which was like weird, really weird. And we just felt like isolated. So it's important to have an outlet like meditation or singing or writing poetry, writing in a journal, so it helps your mental health.
I think it's incredible because I quite honestly I don't believe I've ever really heard too often of a high school student talking about meditation.
Yes.
And I'm sure that really came from a lot from your dad and how to calm your mind and have clarity. Is some of this, we're sitting amongst some meditation items here. Are those yours?
They're my stepmom. So
okay.
Yeah, they're my stepmoms. She's really into like crystals, qigong, like all that type of stuff, and just connecting yourself to the earth, and yeah, just being healthy, like mental health wise too.
Yeah, and one thing about and as far as the parent-child relationship, I think a huge mistake that a lot of parents make, like Shaolin, and be completely honest, in your entire life, have you ever seen me drink alcohol?
Nope.
Have you ever seen me smoke anything?
Nope.
Well, first of all, I don't do those things. Just to get that clear. But if I did, I would never do things in front of my kid that I wouldn't want them to do. Of course, I believe you should practice what you preach. If you don't want your kids getting high, you shouldn't be getting high. If you don't want your kids to smoke, you shouldn't smoke. If you don't want your kids to drink, you shouldn't drink. But I understand some adults like to do that recreational thing and drink, have a beer or smoke a cigar, whatever it be. If you are doing those sorts of things and you don't want your children to do them, you just shouldn't do them in front of your kids. So if you want a beer, go somewhere privately and drink your beer. You know, I think to me it's the craziest thing in the world for me to do these things in front of my children that I don't want them to do. We're lucky if they don't do it anyway, but if they see us doing it, the probabilities have to go up so much higher. Mm-hmm. So I think us as parents, we definitely need to be their teachers. We need to be people that they look up to, but we have to lead by example. We can't be these type of guys that have all these demands and aren't even living up to those own type of expectations. You know what I mean? I can't tell her to do something great if I'm not doing anything great. You know, it's just crazy to me. So I'm not saying you have to be some champion or some wealthy, smart person, but be an example for your children. We have to be an example for our children. We are their first people that they love. We are the first role models that they have before they understand who LeBron James is and that girl you like, the girl singer you like, Billie Eilish, whatever. You know, before any of these people, we're the first lines of defense for them. So we have to really do a better job at that. I know so many parents that smoke marijuana in front of their kids, drinking Hennessy, drinking beers all the damn time, and get mad when their kid's 16 years old at a party drunk. is ridiculous to me. Of course they're going to be drunk. You're getting drunk. You know what I mean? So we have to always be aware of this sort of thing too. And I think that's very important. And that's why the youth need people, transparent people who really live a clean life, who really live a disciplined life, to teach them and lead them as well. We can't be getting high, doing drugs, and then getting in front of you talking about don't get high, don't do drugs. It's ridiculous. So I think all these things, in order to affect the youth, you have to be real about it. You can't just preach it and not live it, and a lot of that goes on as well.
And they're so impressionable.
Yes.
So impressionable.
Yes.
Hey, Dad's doing it. It should be fun if I do it. Right?
Yes.
What's the difference? And in their mind, like, what is the difference? And I always say, be the best version of yourself, and be the best version of yourself for others.
Yes.
I mean, we all have bad days, and we all have situations that bring us down. If you can manage, like it sounds to me like you help the youth manage their mind, their anger, their clarity, their understanding, and how to be functioning as a person who is making a positive difference. I think it makes such a big difference.
Yes, and when I used to speak at schools a lot, this for the people listening, I'm not telling you guys anything, you guys know this, and my daughter has heard this her entire life, but when people, I would frequently be asked, how'd you become successful? How'd you become a champion when you grew up, violently or whatever? And I told them, I exercise what I call Dewey 6 D's to destiny. I just use Dewey, D's, because my name's Dewey, starts with a D. Destiny starts with a D, so it just sounds cool. But Dewey 6 D's to destiny are things that I practice every day that makes me better in everything I do. And that's dedication, determination, discipline, devotion, desire, and drive. If you exercise these 6 D's in whatever you do, dedication, determination, discipline, devotion, desire, and drive, whatever it is you want to do, you'll succeed in it. You want to be a student, you want to be a singer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be an architect. If you exercise those 6 D's, you're going to accomplish it, because these 6 D's, you guys know what dedication is. You guys know what determination is. You know what discipline is. You know what devotion is. You know what desire is. You know what drive is. Those 6 D's really covers every motivational factor and every internal passion within you to accomplish something you set out to do. And if you practice those, it'll make you not go to the club and get drunk on a Wednesday night when you should be studying. It'll make you read that extra chapter. It'll make you study longer. It'll make you focus on what you have to do. It'll make you do your assignments on time. It'll make you not, go out and do corrupt things or criminal things, because you have a desire to be better. You have a desire to accomplish something. You have a discipline to not let the reality of your now affect you to do something negative or adversely to ruin that path and what you want to accomplish. Those Dewey's D's are very important. That was part of what changed me from a gangster-ish type person to a positive, no, I'm not doing that type of thing person. And these are creeds that I live by. These are creeds I talk to my fighters about. And Shaolin, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's my number one creed that I tell my fighters? I have it on the back of my shirts. The number one thing, when I pass away, I want this on my whatever that thing is called when you die, the little paper. What was it called when you pass away? They got your name, the obituary. I want this on my obituary.
Hold on. Now I have a brain. I'm having a brain. Wait.
This is the creed that I live by.
If improvement
is
possible, perfection not good enough.
Yes.
Right?
My whole yes, that's right.
Okay.
Beautiful. My whole meaning of life. And this is what I tell you. The first day they come train with me, or the first day I speak to them, I talked to him about Dewey 6 Ds to Destiny, and I talk about my creed that I've told UFC fighter Kevin Lee, that you know, I've told all my fighters, high level to my amateurs right now. Everyone that knows me knows this saying. I wear it in the back of all my Black Cobra Striking System shirts. And my number one creed, my number one purpose in life is this. If improvement is possible, perfection is not good enough. If improvement is possible, perfection is not good enough. That simply means no matter whom you are, no matter how much you've accomplished, no matter how many great things and feats and things you've done, if improvement is possible, you can do more. You can be better. You can be more outstanding. And by having this mentality, every day it makes me have to be a better person than what I were yesterday. And that's the number one mechanism that really triggers me to work hard, push my daughter, push my fighters, be a good guy at home, have a great relationship with my lady. Because just this model in my mind, this tangible concept that I made up to make me not do dumb shit. Period. You know, not do dumb shit, not go out and get drunk and kill someone driving home. You know, these type of things. If improvement is possible, perfection is not good enough, guys. So no matter what level you're at, there's always room for improvement. Perfection is just not good enough because we can improve, we can continually improve from whatever perfections we feel we are at. Therefore, we will stay ambitious, we'll stay willing to put forth the effort and the work and the passion to become better. And if we become better, we can motivate everyone around us to become better. And that's what's needed in the world today. We all need to be better every freaking day. So when you have a bad day, it's not a bad day because you're going to check yourself and you're going to do better anyway. And this is the number one motivational factor that I use right now, every day. I swear to God, we can get on the phone right now and call any one of my fighters that I'm with every day, and they'll tell you every day, coach is never off. He goes hard every day. We're going to test it right now since this phone is so damn sensitive.
You're going to call Timmy.
I can call any one of them, but Timmy's probably the only guy that will answer. Exactly. He's probably the only guy that will answer, but I'll call a few different guys.
Timmy's his favorite.
No, Timmy's not my favorite.
I like to mess with him.
All my fighters are my favorite, but I just want to see something real fast. We'll do a test right now. And this is a professional mixed martial artist and pro boxer, Twilight Timmy Kwamba. Excellent fighter. Go online, check him out. You got to be surprised. He might not answer because nothing scripted. If he's not answering, he's busy doing something. Yeah, I trained him hard.
Please leave your message for.
I'll call the next one. I'm gonna get one of these fighters on the phone. We're gonna see.
I know the order already.
That's not true. Completely not true. But yeah, I will call Roxy. Because these guys, they'll answer the phone. I already know Francis is getting a massage right now. I know that. It is Saturday. They might all be out. They're young guys. You know how that is. If you choose the next person I call, Shaolin will say you got a little psychic ability.
It's either Keith or...
Please leave your...
I don't know, Keith could, yeah. Keith
Last call. Gee.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, you guys ruining... Oh, Twilight's calling back.
Okay.
Oh, Timothy.
Hey, Twilight, how are you? Thanks for answering.
Yeah, what's up?
Random, and this is so random.
What's up?
Right now, you're live on a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we were talking about our motto, our creed on the back of our shirt. What's our motto, Timmy?
If improvement is possible, then perfection's not good enough.
Yes, sir. Timmy, now do we live by that? Be honest. Do I live by that every day? No matter how I'm feeling, what happens when I come to the gym with you guys?
Like energy wise?
Yes, like trying to push you guys to make you better or whatever.
Yeah, your energy is always when you come in. Your first task is to make everybody better, no matter what. You know, it don't matter. My camp or not, we're always trying to make us better.
And what do I say? It's not how you feel, it's how you do. So many times, Timmy, you've seen me tired, sick. Tell them about the time I had gout. What happened anyway?
Oh yeah, when you had gout, you were still going to the track with us. You were still training everybody like normal. And it don't matter. Like you can come in with, even when your elbow was messed up, you were still coming to the gym and training everybody. Yeah. Right after your gala, I got an injury. I couldn't move my arm for like a week.
Yeah.
Couldn't move
it. It was weird. It was
level 10 pain. Yeah. Every day training. Every day train. And the reason why I do that, guys, and the people on the podcast, real fast, Timmy, stay there. The reason why I do this is not because I'm just some bad dude. It's because physically, it doesn't matter what we're going through. This is what the point I want to drive home. Us from troubled areas and violent areas, dysfunctional areas, it doesn't matter what we're going through. It's matter what matters is what we internalize and what we do with that stimuli coming into us, how we react from it. So we can very easily say, no, I'm not going to let this affect me adversely. I'm not going to let this bring me down and make me feel like this is who I am. And we just go. Man, so many times I'm broke up and hurt. These guys are killers. I'm an old man. They hurt me all the time.
Yeah.
But we go.
Fighting, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
You still fought hard.
Yes. And so the importance of this podcast, if you guys get anything from me, the most important thing is the mentality. And the mentality needs to be a positive, strong, confident being to make you a better person and to make everyone you touch around you better. That's what the purpose that we're here on this planet for. And Timmy, I just wanted to hear someone tell them our creed. We live it every day, no matter what. By the way, Timmy, I was tired as heck today, but we got that work in, didn't we?
Exactly, yeah. You trained us all morning. Went straight to the gym and trained practice.
Yep.
Non-stop. You're always working no matter how you feel.
Yes, because Timmy, how would you feel if you found that, by the way, it's legal now or whatever, but Timmy, real fast before we get you off the phone, I'm talking fast because I'm excited, I get hyped and I talk to the fighters, but let me calm down. Timmy, since you know me, by the way, Timmy, since I've been training you, I've been training him since he was 17 years old. Wow. Have you ever seen me drink alcohol?
No, never.
Have you ever seen me?
No drinking.
No. Now, Timmy, if you found out today that I smoked weed all the time and got drunk all the time, how would that make you feel?
Well, it'd be crazy because you preach to us all the time about it, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Every day you tell us why you're against it and everything.
Yes, and as far as I tell him, I won't even tell in front of my daughter, but I've seen the transition, what the gateway drugs will do to you. I've seen it with my own eyes. But anyway, so I just wanted the people on the podcast and Dr. Susan, everyone to hear how we really live this. This is not for the cameras. It's a lifestyle. Guys, we have to live a lifestyle a certain way, otherwise life could really give you the short end of the stick, and that's very important. So anyway, Twilight Timmy, thank you for answering the phone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And by the way, real fast, while we have him on the phone, the reason why we call him Twilight Timmy is because he's a very pretty guy.
Oh,
he looks like the pretty boy from the Twilight movie.
Oh, wow.
He looks like Jacob.
The wolf guy.
Well, we're going to make him famous.
He's Mexican American.
Oh, is it really? Oh, nice.
Timmy Kwamba, but he's a pretty boy.
Oh, nice.
But he can really fight.
Yeah.
Like, he can really fight.
Oh, wow.
He fights nothing like he looks.
No,
he
nice.
fights like the most unattractive guy you ever want to see. He's mean.
Oh, wow.
He's a straight champ. He's already a champion,
right.
but he's beast mode.
Right,
I'll say it like
that. Wow.
So anyway, Twilight Timmy.
No, thank you very much.
Bye, Timothy.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you.
So just for the people on the podcast, this is not acting. This is not just something we do and live a certain lifestyle. We really live it. I reflected that mentality through my daughter. I reflected that mentality through my fighters, and it's for me, it's very rewarding to see the environment in which I came from to transform and transcend into the person that I am now, and people still respect me in the streets and all of that. It's just a great feeling, and the most important thing about today, if you get into a position where you can help people, especially the youth, please do it. We all have a responsibility to take care of our family, and after that, take care of whomever else we can reach within reason. And that's what we're doing here with the Juvenile Justice Impact. That's why Dr. Susan's here, and that's why she's putting so much energy, effort, and just love into what she does.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, that's for sure. And we're a community. And we come together to have a community effort to make an all-around encompassing change.
Yes.
And it has been such an honor to be speaking with you and your beautiful daughter. And do you have a website that people would like to go to or anything? Social media?
Yeah, just a lot of Instagram. I have Facebook, but that's limited members. I got Twitter, but I never use it. Instagram, it happened to just for some reason be my personal favorite. So if you have an Instagram account, go to DC Black Cobra. Follow me. If you say I heard you on the Juvenile Justice Impact podcast with Dr. Susan, I'll definitely follow you back. Just message me. But it's DC Black, BLACK, Cobra, KOBRA. DC Black Cobra spelled with a K. And when you go to my Instagram page, you're going to see a lot of videos of a bunch of stars like UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, UFC fighter Kevin Lee, Bellator fighter Keith Lee, professional world champion heavyweight boxer Carlos Takam. You'll get to see Twilight Timmy Kwamba, Broxton, Angela Austria, my world champion Jamie Miracle Mitchell, my boxer female world champion Jamie Miracle Mitchell, just so many guys that I've trained, UFC fighter Mahmoud Miradov, just so many guys that I train. You'll get to see them working out and getting tired and sweating and pushing themselves to become better at what they do. So I have a pretty interesting page, especially if you're in the martial arts. You'll see some clips of my daughter shooting the hoop and singing and stuff like that as well, man. Let's continue to try to be better. Improvement is possible. Perfection is not good enough. Let's keep working. Let's keep striving for greatness.
Thank you so much, and you can always see us at impactjji.com. Until next time, we'll have perhaps maybe later in the year, whatever, we can come back and visit you again, and hopefully by then, as the months come upon us and we get into 2022, we can definitely find ways that we can collaborate and help each other, help you.
Yes, one thing we have to do, we definitely have to get back together with Eugene and I right after this toy drive, so you guys can see we were legitimate. We did our thing and gave out toys to the kids from San Bernardino to Las Vegas, and we can talk about that in the next 4 to 5 weeks again.
We could do like segments.
Yes, and like I said, I appreciate you, Dr. Susan. Thank you very much.
Thank you for all that you do for our community, your beautiful daughter. We're going to be, I'm sure this isn't the last time we're going to meet, and we have a lot of great ideas come up, and we'll share them with each other and make an impact in our community.
Yes. Before we go, Shaolin, you got to take them out with a verse. What you want?
No.
Give me something. Yes, that's great. The best part of the show is my daughter singing to say goodbye to everyone.
It's so special. It's so special. Yeah.
You don't know, babe, when you hold me, you kiss me slowly, it's the sweetest thing, and it don't change. If I had it my way, you would know that you are. You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow. No matter how far. If life is a movie, oh, you're the best part.
And you all are beautiful, and you all are the best part. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.